Researchers led by the British Museum have unearthed the earliest known evidence of humans making fire. So that's obviously a massive turning point in human evolution.
Well, the discovery shows humans were making fire around 350,000 years earlier than previously thought.
So it's completely changed everything, basically. And joining us now is Dr. Rob Davis, who is a Palaeolithic archaeologist at the British Museum. This is quite exciting, right?
It's incredible, yeah. It's an incredible discovery.
When did we think we originally discovered it?
So until now, the earliest evidence for actually making fire was about 50,000 years ago. This was from a site in France.
But it's now add 350,000 to that.
So it's now, add 350,000, so we're now at 400,000 years ago.
Whoa, that's totally different. That's totally different.
Yeah.
And what is the evidence? What was found then?
So if you imagine a campfire, a small campfire, it's burnt out, the ashes and the charcoal, of course, that's all washed away. And what you're left with is the baked earth underneath it. So we have about a half-metre diameter patch of sort of terracotta-coloured clay where it's been baked in by the heat. This was the location of a campfire not made by our own species, because at 400,000 years ago, Europe was occupied by a different species of human, Neanderthals. So this was a Neanderthal campfire. And then around that campfire, we have their stone tools, so activities around the campfire. And then crucially, fragments of this mineral called iron pyrite. And that could be used by hitting it with flint to create sparks and to light fires.
Wow.
And that's the earliest evidence we have for fire lighting.
So wow, that's amazing.
How sure are we about this?
Very sure.
Very sure?
Yeah, pretty sure. We had to do a lot of analysis to, first of all, demonstrate that sediment had definitely been heated. We then had to demonstrate that it wasn't heated in a wildfire. That's always, particularly at such a long time ago, it's harder to interpret this sort of evidence. So we could show that it was, in fact, heated by humans. And then the pyrite, we had to show that it's incredibly rare. So the only way it could have got to the site was that it was brought there by humans.
It's incredible.
Or Neanderthals.
Or Neanderthals, yes.
So Neanderthals, you describe it as a species of human. Like, for the kind of uninitiated in us, what is a Neanderthal?
Like
me. Like, what... for the Neanderthals with us. Sorry, no. That's a joke. What was a Neanderthal? What kind of life were they living?
So, at this time, 400,000 years ago, they were very similar to our own ancestors who were evolving in Africa at this time. They were a very evolved human. They had a brain, so we know from their fossils that their brain size was similar to our own. They were very good hunters. We now know making fire. They were making tools out of stone and bone and wood. Very evolved. And then we can start thinking, one of the interesting things about this discovery, we can start thinking about how, once you have a campfire, how that starts to change kind of social structures.
So this might be a really stupid question, but obviously fire, they would have observed fire before that. How do you think they would have gone through the process of working out how to start a fire? So it's probably a really long process. So we have evidence of humans interacting with fire, or early humans, over 1 million years ago in Africa. So it's probably a long process of exploiting natural fire. So if you have wildfire, those burnt landscapes provide different resources. So animals that have been caught, they've been cooked, so you can kind of forage and scavenge those remains. But also you can collect embers and then sort of light your own fires using embers that you've collected from wildfires. But that's only available some of the time when you have a wildfire. And of course, as soon as your fire goes out, if you haven't got the ability to relight it, then you can't benefit from it. I'm going to feel really crap next time. Excuse me, really bad. Correction on that word. Apologies for it, but really bad next time I have to get a lighter out and use a box of matches.
Or you're going to get a little flint out. And,
I just feel, I'm not going to, and I'll feel bad that I don't.
It's hard. I've tried to light a fire with that before in one of those, Stone Age places, and I tell you what, it is not easy.
It's not easy, no.
I didn't do it. I failed miserably. I'm interested about where this was discovered. So it was in the UK, in Suffolk?
Suffolk, yeah.
And given the kind of the globe at the time, was England and the UK quite an advanced place for human species?
So it's found in a village called Barnham in Suffolk. At this time, so Europe is occupied by Neanderthals. We just have an incredible record in this particular part, so in England in general, but particularly in East Anglia. And it's really it's a set of kind of geological circumstances, kind of fortuitous circumstances that means that this evidence has preserved in ways that it hasn't preserved elsewhere. So, I'm sure, that part of England was a very good place to live 400,000 years ago, but it's the reason that we can say so much about these early humans is because the evidence has survived
And where else would the early humans be in the world at the time?
Oh, so Africa, the whole of Eurasia, the subcontinent as well. So yeah, across most of the world. Probably not too far north. So once you get up to Britain and Northern Europe, that's probably kind of towards the northern limits. But certainly, not yet in the Americas, not yet in Australia.
So could we have, in fact, discovered fire earlier, based on your point that we're lucky this was preserved?
Yeah, so it's unlikely that it was invented in Suffolk. The people who actually, I mean,
But why?
it could have been.
Why?
It could have been, but I suppose because the evidence is so patchy, because so much of it is lost to time, the chances of us finding the first instance is incredibly remote. And actually, it makes sense because Britain would have been quite a hard place for these people to live. So particularly during the winters, so long, cold winters. I mean, the climate would have been similar to today. So the winters would have been long and cold, dark nights. So fire would have been a really important part of the toolkit for surviving. So perhaps the reason that these humans were doing so well in Britain at this time was because they had this technology, which they were able to bring with them from elsewhere.
And how important is fire to human evolution?
I think it's probably one of the most important technological discoveries ever.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of underpins everything. Kind of the whole of our whole human civilization is kind of built on our ability to create fire from nothing, essentially, and then control it and use it to manipulate other materials in the world around us. So everything from the agricultural revolution, the Bronze Age, the Iron Age, right up to the Industrial Revolution, obviously space age, is all fueled by our ability to control fire.
It's interesting that we use the word technology
Yeah.
for that. So that's the right word for this, obviously.
Yeah. Well, once you're starting to use it to build other things, then yeah.
Really so interesting.
Yeah, it's been fascinating. It really has, and also we can tell your kind of enthusiasm for it as well. Like
Super excited.
it comes across, the kind of excitement for this discovery and how it really is, changing everything.
Palaeolithic archaeologist.
Correct.
What does that mean exactly?
So Stone Age archaeology.
Stone Age.
Studies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Amazing
Dr.
stuff.
Rob Davis, thanks so much.
Thank you.